Previously on The Guardians of Fehal.
In our last episode, the party had successfully planned a break-in into Lord Rhys Aris's house to investigate his involvement in a murder of another noble. They managed to successfully break into his house and investigate, and after slowly moving through without being noticed, they made their way upstairs to his study. While there, Nora stayed out in the hall to put a mustache on his portrait as a spider. Hans and Franz, Andrew's character, and Rowan waited in a separate little study while Felix and Hans and Franz, Josh's character, went into his actual room and private study. While in there, they seemed to set off some sort of alarm system where two imps attacked them and then released a hellhound from the fireplace that was kept back by some sort of grate system. With some quick thinking, Felix managed to close the grate and prevent the other hellhounds from escaping, and with some teamwork and Nora coming under the door as a spider, she was able to help the boys defeat the hellhound and the two imps. However, on the opposite side, Rowan was having a bit of a freak out as his sister was separated from him through a bolted door that they couldn't get open. After a very tense conversation with Hans and Franz where it appeared Rowan was going to attack him, Nora finally called out that things were okay, and after the party was all reunited, they quickly decided to pilfer through his desk and find a bunch of letters, as well as a hidden drawer with letters in it and a mysterious dagger, which Felix did not want to touch. Then they tried to make their escape. One of the servants in the house did seem to hear some movement, but they avoided being seen completely and bolted over the walls and made it back safely into the inn they were staying at. Kind of picking up, you guys, there's no issues. You do wake up, undisturbed. You're fine. You get up in the morning, and for expedience sake, we'll say you get back to the guild. Probably slept in a little bit, so it's probably closer to 10 o'clock when you get back. And what would Una be doing in the morning?
She'd probably be a little fidgety and a little worried, and kind of like trying to probably be keeping herself busy, maybe making a couple of arrows, doing that sort of thing just to not kill her times and feel better. She's taking it easy because she was sick the other day, and it was from all the stress and worry of everything just caught up to her, and she got COVID.
Oh, no.
She got COVID. The one-day COVID.
The one-day COVID.
All right.
It's a fantasy game. We can believe.
Yeah, we get the one-day flu here. So why not a one-day COVID there?
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, you guys managed to find Una at the guild and connect with. So yeah.
Okay, Una. So we found some stuff, but we probably need to, get one of those meeting rooms to discuss all this.
Okay, we can do that.
At 10 o'clock at the guild, it's not crowded for meetings right now, so you could probably steal one of the private meeting areas to talk.
Private meeting. Oh my god, I can't even speak.
It's the COVID.
Dude, it's so the COVID.
All right. Full rest. Felix isn't. He's got all his hit points back.
Yep.
Wow, I haven't done this in too long. Okay. Yep.
How did it go, you guys?
Mostly
Did you find
well.
anything? Did you guys get into any trouble? Was it smooth sailing?
Yes.
So all of it? That's great.
Yeah, imps and hellhounds were the trouble. Otherwise, smooth sailing to get out. No one saw us. And we found letters.
Wait, you said imps and hellhounds? Is he a warlock, a summoner? Is he
he wasn't there. He wasn't there. It was just me and Felix were in one of the rooms searching, and suddenly two imps, and then they opened they opened the fireplace and a hellhound came out, and Felix pulled the lever and shut the other hellhounds in. And it was a lot. But we're okay. A little bit of burns, nothing that a good night's sleep couldn't take care of.
Well, I am curious at how he managed to get hellhounds in his control, his support. That seems
I mean,
pretty
we were saying
extreme.
before that he was either, conspiring with the Fae or maybe something a little more, unseemly. Like, I mean, imps were hanging around that nightmare thing, so probably a little, I don't know, would that be infernal?
Felix looks at the group, calculating. So, I know that you mentioned that you're going to be looking around for a bit more information on that. What did you find?
Wait,
what?
information on what? Sorry.
On what exactly those things were? The mist creatures.
Oh,
Yeah, because you guys remember before you decided to break in, you went and talked to people, respectively.
we talked to Mama.
Right.
You guys talked to Lavinia.
Yeah, I can't remember what she said. I think it was something along the lines of, because I can't remember what we concluded was Fey or Infernal. I can't remember what we.
I don't think we really inferred. We had no idea.
Yeah, because you talked to Lavinia.
Undead. Yeah, I think Lavinia was on the bent of like undead, like angry spirit sort of thing.
No, she said it would be either undead or like she's like it could be undead, but undead aren't usually that intelligent to like be that focused. She said it could be an air or a smoke element, like some sort of air elemental, but she wasn't really positive. It was all speculation.
Yeah.
Which is my specialization.
Is that what you tell Felix?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why not.
Right. So I know that you didn't really ask me to, but I sort of have a connection with someone, and I asked them about that, and they had a bit more of a response.
Okay.
He takes a deep breath. The mist creatures are either created by an artifact powered by souls, or a different raw force of magic, or it's the product of a pact with a powerful evil spirit, not unlike a boon.
Okay. So, I don't know what that means.
So he's in contract, or his family's associated with dark beings, and they're using souls to power it?
That is one possibility, most certainly.
That would make the most sense.
Raw magic.
I forget, did Rowan tell, or did Felix hear about Rowan's connection with the Westwood murder? Or like the mental connection that he had?
The dream.
I think you were talking about it in front of it, where you expressed whenever you'd been in contact with some sort of similar sounding monsters before, you had like severe headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I think you said in front of him. I don't think you said specifically the dream.
Okay. So I'll mention the dream that I had of Lord Westwood being murdered by the smoke monster. Just in case Felix hadn't heard. And then Um, I I've had similar experiences with we were in Meyerfield, and there were spirits attacking the town, and I had some sort of connection with them as well. So I'm wondering if maybe it is some sort of artifact and souls of the dead somehow being channeled through it and harnessed in some way to do his bidding.
Why do you have a connection? Is it because you usually have, those little wispy dudes around you when you're angry?
It could be. It could be whoever I've been hearing in my dreams. I have as many questions as you do.
Right. So I vaguely mentioned you to this person.
Me?
And yeah, you mentioned that you had some sort of connection with them, and they think that it might be that you're having reactions to a past life. They might have more insight. They're very interested in meeting you because you're, from what I can tell, not a dryad, not really. You're not bound to a certain place, and yeah, they might have more information for you.
I would very much like to meet them.
But they'd probably be investigating you, and that might he looks around the world like he's kind of trying to warn you.
Investigating me?
Yeah. They're a bit different, and I don't think they'd necessarily, by their standards, do anything. But it's
What do you mean by their standards?
I was like hoping somebody commented on that because it was a good line. What do you mean their standards?
Because they're not exactly human.
What do you mean?
They're not exactly. Look, there's only really so much I can tell you because it's a bit of a. Look, I'm undercover. I can't tell you everything. And this person's sort of vaguely connected to my actual identity, and
Okay, so
Felix,
can't you tell us?
I don't want to sound rude, but you know so much about us, and we know so little about you. I feel like at this point some of the curtain needs to be drawn. If we are going to continue working together, we need to know that we can trust one another. I trust you. Do you trust me?
yeah,
Asking the hard questions.
it's sort of a family secret, all right? And I technically do not have the permission from at the moment, but they want to meet you. She's a fae. An arch-fae. The sort that you don't really want to upset. And she's old and powerful, and she has information.
Ask questions?
Yeah, well, I didn't think that they would be. I forgot you were going to ask about them, but you would also know, just to make you feel better, Lauren, that like if she specifically asked to meet somebody, she automatically knows that their secret's going to be out, unless she's going to try to like wipe their memory later. So
Okay, cool.
if that makes you feel a little better, like, oh, is Felix going to get smited for some reason?
Yeah.
And Lizzie, quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
With Nora and Rowan's dealing with the Fae, we would kind of know to be cautious of Archfae.
Oh yeah, they're normally
And-
like the ones who give and take away powers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a Nora gives Rowan that look of like, we need to talk to Mama and Papa first.
Yeah.
Before we talk to these people, I need to speak to my lawyer. Also,
yeah, exactly.
As this grilling was going on and Megan's eating chips, it just makes it so much funnier.
It's
like
marvelous.
She's just so anyway,
So Lauren, you said that the Archfae is a family connection?
Yeah. 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 So, you might want to rethink that. And look, chances are I'm not going to be in this position for too much longer. If things go the way that I think they're going to go, I might end up taking a new cover. I might end up stopping. I'm not quite sure. It sort of depends on my employer, who is the Duchess.
Lady Elaine?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I sort of technically work for her spy master.
Oh.
I knew it. I knew that there's something hinky, and there's a reason I didn't like Lady Elaine. She is spy master. That alone is enough.
what? No,
What?
any competent ruler has spy
what?
masters. Like you have to have his espionage.
Psh, not me.
You're not
You're not a ruler of the
Nor are
nation.
you competent.
Yeah,
Do you
and you
think
try to be a
that-
spy.
Do you
Yeah.
think that the Shattered Isles or Broken Isles or whatever they are don't have spies?
Of course they don't. Why would they?
Of course they don't. Because it's not like they have a Nazi organization that's doing crazy stuff
I
where
would
they
like
would never need to spy on their
I'd
own
like-
people.
I'd like to point out that Megan, you originally described Felix as a shadow walker, or like
I
they're from a
did!
village, which like they
Yeah,
have
which
to
is-
do shady things to get
Yeah.
information, which would imply
Oh.
that the Breaker Isles do have spies.
Shadow walkers?
Or shadow.
Shadow
I
walkers?
think I
I don't
remember
know.
that.
I do remember that because one of the twins being like, "I don't know what you mean by a shadow walker and a who to what it was."
Yeah.
That's
Selkies don't have spies, my foot. You're just as crooked as you think Lady Elaine is.
That's why she hates her so
No
much.
better.
The
I
reflection.
knew that she was connected to Lady, or that Felix was connected to Lady Elaine, though. I had a feeling because him getting involved with this situation after she got captured.
Josh
So,
Stop. Continue with that bombshell.
And on
Uh,
that bombshell.
Right. So I really don't want to say much more than that.
That sounds like quite a bit already. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, to me, you've opened up, shows a willingness to work with us.
Maybe just keep that information quiet, though.
of course.
Thanks. Oh, one more thing. The reactions that you are sensing, well, the reactions might be you sensing a threat, particular to a person or to people, perhaps to yourself, or perhaps to other people that you are having in regards to the mists, and that you had in Meyerfield and at Queen's.
Queen's
It's not
Rest.
Queen. It is.
Yep,
Queen's
it's Queen's
Rest?
Rest.
Keep mixing that up. at Queen's Rest, that could be you sensing a threat to a particular person or to particular people, perhaps even to yourself. It's hard to say everything for certain, but that's her posit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate any information. It's strange. It seems like in some way all of these reactions have been linked, but also somewhat different. There were some with what seemed like undead or death, and there were some that seemed like anything that was fey in nature that had been desecrated.
Right. I almost forgot that.
But you could still be correct, as I was created by fey.
Well, there's that desecration, particularly the one at Queen's Rest. The spirit there is actually dead.
So it was another undead.
No, not.
Oh, the spirit has been taken care of.
No, the spirit at Queen's Rest was a peaceful spirit. They would, be very healing in nature to those around it, and they're dead now. Something came in and desecrated their area, and they're dead.
So that well no longer has healing properties.
No. In fact, something else very likely is trying to move in, and it could very well be the mist monsters that Nora mentioned, that your mother told you about long ago. A dark creature that was cast out by gods, by other fae, who knows what, and tossed away, and now that's trying to come back.
It's all very unsettling.
You have no idea. Well, but then again, probably do.
Rowan won't respond. He'll just... He's very pensive and sort of detached from the conversation, just deep in thought.
Well, let's look at the letters. And Felix will pull them out.
All right, which ones are you starting with?
Burned one?
All right. The burned one, as I posted in the group of what it says, Rhys, in lieu of must amend our agreement, will still marry you. Alternative solution, heir. Future ruler of Wind Plains cannot be muddled with blood. And everything else in between is blacked out, from being burned.
I don't suppose that magic cleaning sort of spell would help? The fixing one?
Mending?
I think we need the missing piece.
Yeah, you'd need the missing pieces of ash.
If they're burnt up, then...
Well, we could mend the paper, just the words wouldn't be there.
Well, that's
That's
specifically charred out because it's burnt there. There's it's gaps in the paper.
I think mending is supposed to kind of like magical welding.
Yeah, it can't
If there's a tear, it can fix it. But
Look,
if it's a
Felix-
burn...
Felix doesn't know magic, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just talking out of character.
If you guys would have hypothetically gathered all the ashes out of there and put everything in a pile and just tried to mend it, you might have had better luck, but...
But even with that, we wouldn't be able to look at the words, I don't
Words
think.
wouldn't have come back, no.
Does Felix recognize the writing?
I don't, unless he specifically has forged stuff. Like, how would he know if he recognizes it? Like, from...
Yeah, I know. That's the rough part, of course.
Like, are you asking in comparison to hit the handwriting of the other letters that are there? Or, like, if it looks like any of those? Or, like, if Felix in his lifetime ever ran across a handwriting like this?
Let's start with the letters and move out from there.
Okay, give me an... I think it would be an intelligence check of some sort. You could do investigation. Because it's like forgery, basically, or you're trying to see if they match up.
That actually turned out really well. That's a 24.
You rolled well for once. You looking at it, you're pretty sure it matches Westwood's handwriting.
Right. So this is from Westwood. All right. Anyone have anything?
Do we even really know who Westwood is?
It's the guy
The guy
who
who
murdered.
Murdered.
Well, but he wasn't gonna marry him.
You don't know.
You don't know.
No,
Maybe
but
he
we
was.
have other letters of like this other Westwood lady being very chummy.
Yeah.
So I think we would be able to
Mhm.
put two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
So Westwood's the guy that died.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I don't think his wife would be marrying him. Does he have a daughter?
Yeah, that's what they just said.
I'm an idiot.
But it's his niece.
Yeah, it's his niece. Felix
So
said
we're
that.
asking about this burned letter right
Yeah.
now. So I think that it's gonna. I bet this in lieu of blank. I bet it's the knight, Westwood's knight, Lucas.
That other letter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in lieu of Lucas's death, we must amend our agreement. Lila will still marry you.
Well, because here's, for those of you who haven't looked, the letters that you did find, you found some people who are attending the party. That's just generic. There's ones of a letter from Lila Westwood saying, thanks for visiting me and my mother. I'm excited to attend the festival and you must save a dance for her. It looks like it's dated before Westwood's death, but like a couple days before Westwood's death. There's a letter from a high priest. His name is Talos Iarte, which is saying that he can replace Father Neri if he's not meeting Rhys's expectations and is sorry about that. And he said there's other priests that could be chosen from. And then there's a letter from Westwood that says, Rhys, I'm writing to you to make inquiries about the sudden death of one of my knights. He was found dead at a nearby inn, pale and gaunt, as if struck by sudden illness the morning after we last met at the fighting pits. Ask your servants that accompanied you that night if they saw if he left with anybody. Lucas was a strong man and not like to die from a sudden chill.
Okay, I think I have a theory.
I got it too.
Okay,
Me too.
so looking at everything that has come up from that letter and looking at what is going on and the fact that an alternative solution to produce an heir is what I'm assuming is what's in here. I don't think that this is in lieu of the like death of this happening, we have to change the marriage or anything. This is basically him saying she'll still marry you in order to get a title, but because you are of dirty blood, probably of like, summoning all of this crazy stuff and everything, she will not like produce an heir with you. We'll find another way to do it. And he's basically insulting Rhys in this letter. And
Muddled with the blood of Fae.
Yeah, that'd
Fae.
be my guess.
And so I'm guessing that Rhys probably killed Westwood in order to keep his secret from getting out of whatever his family is, because he found out and didn't want his niece getting mixed up into it. So he was like, she'll marry you for the title, but she's going to stay away from you otherwise.
There will be no love.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, that would probably make. I mean, that would make anyone pretty mad.
Is this above table or is this?
This
No, I
is
mean,
us
we're
discussing at this
We're
point. Like,
discussing it.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
assuming this is kind of a
I'm-
mix of things.
it's a
too.
mix of everything. It's like our characters figuring it out
Yeah.
over time. But like,
I'm-
we just have to discuss it.
I'm very much on the same wavelength as
Yeah,
Sam
same.
is. Like the fact
makes a
that
lot of
it's
sense.
not, it wasn't about the night, it was about something that has specifically to do with Rhys that is causing this issue.
Yeah, and the fact that it was after we met at the fighting pits, that's when this knight was found. I'm wondering if maybe Rhys or his family or whatever it is that he controls caused the death of this knight, and then Westwood found out through that over time after an investigation of some sort. And so it all led back to him, and he was like, well, I know what you are or what you're about, and we don't want that spreading in our bloodline, so that's where this insult came from.
Right, because Westwood was the one that does not like Fae.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't like Fae.
He is very much against them.
But his family historically has hunted like monsters, like so not just Fae, though Fae
pretty much anything that's not human.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
Oh, I wonder if that last line was the blood of monsters
or Fae, just in general.
Interchangeable for them.
Depending whatever it is that he's about.
Or whatever insult Marcus would send Rhys's way.
This definitely puts a motive into play. Like
very much
makes that a lot clearer.
Yeah.
There's also the letters from the hidden drawer, which you guys haven't read through yet.
Oh, I thought you posted everything.
Nope. I didn't
We'll take a look through that now.
That's what was on top, and then the burnt letter,
Yeah, Felix will pull those out.
All right. I haven't screenshotted those. So letters in the hidden drawer. There's one from a couple weeks ago that is from Westwood that says, Rhys, I have made clear that your past pursuit of Rhiannon Belmont is becoming concerning for the agreement we made. Since you have purposely ignored my comments when in public, I make it plain here. My niece has always been your intended and will be coming to the Harvest Festival with her family. It would be fitting to see you favoring her.
Oh, God.
There's a letter from Carlisle Blackburn. And it says, I thought to inform you as well as the others of a new prisoner recently brought to the dungeons on the 23rd of Rakier, a noble mouse who has certainly been hunted by a notorious old cat. No doubt they have connections to RD, who would undoubtedly wish to have his friend returned to him. We only have a fine amount of time to coordinate an out for this mouse, and would seek your direction with the others on how best to handle his flight from the dungeon and next location. Felix, you know what this is about. This is what you heard at that meeting for the jail breakout that was going to happen, that you successfully warned the spy master about and subverted.
Fudge.
So,
What, Felix? Does that letter disturb you in some way?
Do we know that Lord Rhys has a tie to the Thieves Guild?
Yeah, Felix said he was. Westwood did,
Westwood
though.
did,
he was suspicious
definitely.
of Westwood.
Oh, I'm gonna need to actually look at that paper to process, Lizzie. Just that.
So I'm curious of.
So the other letter that is of note is a letter from Lord Belmont that says, Sir, your request in regards to my daughter was wholly unexpected. As a father, I am proud she is carrying herself well in a foreign court and has caught the eye of yourself as a bride. However, as Duke, your desires for marriage would not suit, as you are not from the Iron Valley, and I would not desire to make my realm anything like your cousins. You alluded to yourself being an investment and would make a greater power to my own domain through a marriage. As a military man, I would take my numbers in the field any day before whispered forces and would need to know the likelihood of your elevated prospects before tying my daughter to a lord of a foreign nation.
Way to go, Dad.
Okay, I kind of like, Lord Belmont just a little bit better now.
I don't necessarily like him. I mean, he's still just doing this as like you're just not good enough for my family, like get away. He doesn't really care about Rhiannon still, like as a person.
At least he understands that this guy's a douchebag.
No,
he threw the shade over at Rhys, and
it's one of those
like,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend moments.
For now,
No, that's not what's going on at all. Oh, Lord.
What do you mean?
Lord's just reading.
Lizzie. I would be shaking your shoulders if I was there in person.
Why?
Why? Why?
Why what?
What's got you stressed
You
out,
broke
Lauren?
her. You broke her. Doesn't make me feel.
Okay. So, first off, Belmont is not necessarily saying, no, I don't like you, Rhys. I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to let you marry my daughter. What he is saying is, you are saying, you are offering yourself in marriage. You want to form a contract. What do you have to offer me? You are saying that you have this and that and whatever, but I see absolutely no proof that you have any value whatsoever. And I don't like what your cousin is doing over there. I don't like that women, it could be that women are ruling, that inclusion of the Fae.
Dogs and cats living together.
Yes.
Necessary.
Pretty much.
But so then that could lead to him being able to
changing
be
his
like,
mind.
well, yeah, to be like, no, I don't want what she wants. But I mean, we already have suspicions that he is working with a fae of some kind, but that doesn't make make that temporary no a hard no.
Pretty much. It's like, from what I caught with the letter, it's, you need to show me what you are made of, and then maybe on this. And you need to show that you are actually bringing something of substantial value to the table. And then maybe I will consider your suit, because Rhiannon is literally his only living child.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you got way more out of that letter than me.
But yeah, Lauren is spot on, basically.
Oh, that last sentence I didn't hear clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard the whispered words, or whispered, whispered forces. And then I was like, oh yeah, you burn him, Belmont. And and would need to know the likelihood of your elevated prospects before tying my daughter to a lord from a foreign nation. So yeah, asking for proof. Well, dang.
So in that
Belmont, you dirty rat.
And secondly, then you go straight from there. If you go straight to what Westwood is saying, he's saying, hey, you're supposed to be marrying my niece. My niece is intended for you. Why are you pursuing this foreign chick? And, and so it could be that he got tired of what he was saying or saw him as an obstacle and just decided, off with your head, so to speak.
Yeah, this definitely seems more of like a, you are blocking me. You're, number one, my family history secret of whatever it is. And number two, you're blocking me from doing what I really want to do. So screw you, I'm just going to get rid of you so I can do what I want.
It's just in time for Fuckboy Fall.
It really is.
I am curious at why Rhys is so adamant about Rhiannon, minus her status, which obviously is a huge factor in it, but the fact that she keeps thwarting him and pushing him away, why he doesn't look for, instead of the Wind Plains, maybe the Rose, like a different nation.
Instead of the Wind Plains, go to the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
I think the fact that she doesn't want him is what keeps him coming back.
It's one of those power things. He wants control, and the fact that he can't get control frustrates him to where he's going to focus only on that.
Yep.
I don't disagree that might have like an impact in it, but I think that it's the fact that the Iron Valley is actually like on par with the Wind Plains. Like, they're of rival sizes, and so Felix will happily reveal that Rhys actually pursued his cousin for a while. And, wanted that. And he pursued a few other ladies as well. And
who is your cousin?
And what does she do?
No, his cousin.
Rhys,
Pursued
his cousin, Lady Elaine.
Oh.
And yeah, he wanted to marry her. She refused. And he pretty much has been trying to get a suitable, step down, so to speak, until Rhiannon came into the picture.
Fine, I'll
And-
just go after your ward.
Well, it's not even the ward. It's just
Yeah.
sorry.
As a side note for Lauren, because you're a resident of this area, it wasn't just Rhys who wanted to marry her. There was a lot of noble lords that thought it would solve any sort of inheritance dispute, because they're like,
yeah.
technically he would have previously inherited it because she was a woman. So maybe this would be a good compromise, and that way, like, co-rulership, maybe it'll be easier. And she said no. So it wasn't just it wasn't just him who wanted it. There's a lot of noble lords that were like, this would solve any tension about the who got the duke's seat.
So Lady Elena currently has no children, correct? No
Yes.
one to replace her at this time, minus her ward, Rhiannon. But that would not count because she is heir to the Iron Valley. So it would be the Rhys family that would be next in line, correct?
Rhys is technically actually of the same family as
Mhm.
Elaine.
So he would be in the tree in order to take her spot.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So killing Wes, pinning it on Elaine, has just rocketed his ass to that seat.
Yeah, up the
Do
line.
that seat, keeping his secret intact with what he is messing around with, and allows him to pretty much do anything he wants.
Including possibly starting a war with Rhiannon's family, unless Rhiannon agrees to marry him.
So he gets
I mean, that might
everything
be-
that he wants.
Actually, it's arguable that she might technically become his ward in this case.
Well,
That's
she would
true.
definitely be his ward. That was what
Then
we
we're
were
going
very
into like
concerned about.
the Weenie Todd area where he totally just marries the fucking ward. Like that's just
Yep. That's an option.
that is 100% what I think is yeah. Now the question is, the West guy's niece or whatever has, I'm assuming, provided interest into this, and he must have agreed to some sort of arrangement prior.
Or his parents might have,
Yes.
because that works too, you know.
Yep.
Felix, give me an intelligence roll
Oh,
or a history roll.
But I'm curious if that niece actually wants to be with Rhys or is forced into it as well, and the death of her father eliminates that contract completely. So she could also possibly have motive if she doesn't want to be with Rhys.
14, and technically her uncle.
Uncle.
Yeah.
Some form of family
Um,
tree ladder,
It's more of a bush.
pretty much.
I think with a 14, you would remember that Lila specifically's mother is Juliana Eris, which was the old Duke's younger sister. So technically, she's also Rhys's cousin.
No, let's just keep
Gross.
marrying cousins.
Keep it in the family.
This
I mean,
is
that's-
definitely not
That's noble nonsense. That's a whole bunch of noble
Yep.
nonsense.
dude. That's
You're
where
gross,
Gotta get those
mister.
Habsburg jaws somehow.
Ugh.
Mhm.
the weird things that come with cousins breeding.
Anyway,
While I was away, did we talk about the second letter from Blackburn talking
I
about
was
a noble
looking
mouse?
at that. We haven't discussed that yet. I've been trying to like figure out the code.
Yeah. Noble mouse hunted by a cat.
Notorious old cat.
Who's RD?
And
Regulus Dak.
regular Dak, regular Dick.
Regular Dak.
Regular dude.
Regular Dak.
I'll ask Felix. Does RD mean anything to you? I mean, is it some nobles? Do you know initials or something, or nickname? You seemed like. Did we catch that he got all weird?
Roll
I
an
know
insight
Josh
check.
had made a comment about it, but
Roll an insight check.
It is pretty obvious to Hans and Franz.
Well, yeah, but
honestly.
because Lauren made a reaction doesn't mean Felix does, because Felix knows how to bluff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I'm
just
bad at
Lauren
that.
has a bad
I'm
poker
horrid.
face, much like me.
Oh,
Natural 20 insight. Oh no.
Yeah,
Tell me
Jesus.
everything.
27 for Hans and Franz.
Hans
so.
and Franz, Josh would have noticed that Felix.
5.
Because when
for-
Felix was reading that letter, there was a look of like recognition on it.
and he went a bit pale.
But
yeah, he would.
Hans and Franz doesn't know because I rolled a 5, but he would still ask, like,
Yeah.
does Adi mean anything to you?
Well, it could be a few different things.
Yeah, but what does it mean to you?
There was a conversation that I heard not too long ago with some people who wanted to spring someone from prison. I'm guessing that this refers to that conversation. Notorious Old Cat puts me in mind of the Dusternus Lord, Charon Dusternus. A few years back, there was a huge sort of crazy situation, and he suddenly killed his oldest son for treason. He disowned and tried to find his firstborn grandson for treason. Shortly thereafter, he actually disowned that same grandson's sister after she actually married into the Blooming Meadows family. And lots of people they couldn't really figure out what was going on with that.
Oh, the D and RD could possibly be Discernus.
Oh, yeah.
But what was the oldest son and grandson's names?
Shoot, I need to... Lizzie?
Yep. I don't remember the son's name. I'll look it up, but the grandson's name, if you're cool with me saying out loud, is Regan's.
Is Felix.
Dun dun dun.
Said grandson is Regus.
Regan.
Regan.
Or Region.
Regan.
Regan. I like Regan better.
Region.
Spelled like
Yeah.
Reagan.
It's
Or
spelled
Regen.
Ringean.
Ringen.
Ringen, I guess.
Ringen.
Ringen. Let's say
Ring,
Ringen.
ding, 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 ding,
The
ding.
son's name was Seorus.
Definitely not
Soros.
him then.
Soros.
So, Ringen Discernus had a friend that was in prison.
It sounds like it.
So this noble mouse is Ringen's friend, but
Ringen?
who could the notorious old cat be?
Oh, I think that's Dusternus.
Like Lord Discernus.
Mm-hmm. That's a sigil.
So Carlisle Blackburn and the Rhys were trying to help Ringen escape.
I think it's his servant that was caught. From what I know of Lord Dusternus, Ringen wouldn't have made it to jail at all.
All right, because the noble mouse is friends with the prisoner, so the prisoner could be, is the friend of Ringen.
Okay.
So what was these charges of treason that Tissernus threw on his son and grandson?
How were they like legitimate, or was he just gone crazy? Or is he an asshole and his kids were trying to stop him from being an asshole?
Is that? I can't remember. Is that?
Something
Did you
that
tell
Felix
me
would
that,
know.
Lizzie?
Did I tell you what?
What the treason was.
Yeah,
The treason
do people
charges?
know that?
I think people would have to know. They would have heard that it was like they tried to have him assassinated. Because they would have had to publicly explain why he was executing his heir and then his next heir after that. There would have had to have been some.
So, yeah, they were going to try and have Lord Disternus assassinated, apparently.
The Lord Tissernus' own son and grandson wanted to assassinate him.
Mm-hmm.
Was he not a good
And-
person?
Felix would know that publicly also is because they found out that they were wrongfully, they were handling the money really badly and financially, kind of wrecking the house because the son had gambling debts. So they were like, oh, we can't have him come back for more. That would be public knowledge that, those were the after they were executed, and also, they were executed for trying to assassinate.
Well, just the son was executed. The grandson's still alive.
Yeah.
Lady Elaine, and now he's just waiting until Lady Elaine is fully deposed and he can take the dukedom, right?
I don't know what the dukedom is.
I think that's right.
It's noble nonsense. It's dukedom, D-U-M-B.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, possibly.
So, do we bring this to Rhiannon?
Yeah, I've got the meeting with her in a few hours.
What about Lady Seamist?
Well, she's kind of in prison now, brother.
Is she?
Oh,
I think she's just being closely watched.
like
Would be
house
wise to
arrest, I
approach her.
thought.
Yeah,
but
all under
Okay.
house arrest.
I think at this point we need to keep this as much under wraps as possible and probably just work with Rhiannon to get further into our investigation. Because if we divulge anything to anybody else, I just don't want it to get taken away from us and lead somewhere we don't want it to go.
Yeah,
Maybe we could use the noble nonsense against Rhys just a little bit. Who else would his political enemies be?
Well, I
no.
know that Disternus actually seems to be quite fond of Lady Elaine.
So he could be an ally. Did we see if Sternus was going to the festival?
It's not on the
Let's
letters of
see.
RSVPs that are on Rice's desk. Give me everyone give me an intelligence check.
18!
12.
13.
Woo!
Alright.
22.
Jesus.
Man, how many natural 20s is that for me tonight?
I don't know. You've rigged
Too many.
What did you get, Lauren?
Just what? Plain.
Intelligence.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
wait. This wouldn't count for you. It's only them.
wait.
Okay,
Nope, it's only gonna
thank God. I rolled a 1.
For those of you who got a 14 or above, you remember that the first
Ooh.
night you talked to Rhiannon about what was happening and who they could what she had said who could vouch for her was Lord Evelyn, and then you guys were like, well, we gotta have somebody go maybe send a letter or warn him if he's
Yeah.
gotta come. And Rhiannon said, if we can get a scroll, I will warn Lord Disternus that he can go and he'll go protect Evelyn because he's Elaine's most diehard supporter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evelyn is or Disternus is?
Oh.
Disternus is.
Well,
But
Evelyn is
vouching
is a nemesis
Vouching.
of He-Man.
yeah.
Not Evelyn, Ebolin.
Oh.
Lord Jasper Evelyn.
I thought it though, buddy. I was like, Evelyn. Ha ha ha.
But yeah, as for Disternus, you didn't see his an RSVP to the thing from him, so.
Okay, but we still like get these letters to Rhiannon, and she can give them to Disturnus or whoever she needs to give them to.
The letters are in and of themselves very valuable evidence, and so making sure that we fully trust everyone before handing them over would probably be best.
I mean,
Does Felix
I
tell us
trust
that?
Rhiannon.
Yeah, I trust Rhiannon.
I mean, she gave my brother her shoes.
Yeah,
That's a lot of trust right there.
yeah, no pretty nice shoes.
What did you say, Aaron? I missed it.
I said, does Felix tell us that we should, if we give the letters to anyone, it's to someone who we trust?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if they disappear or whatever, it'd be our word against
Yeah.
everyone else's and Rhys, and no offense, but people would look at us and they'd say, who are they? Why do they care? They aren't of any notable standing. They probably were hired by Elaine. Let's just ignore them at best.
Yep.
I mean, technically, me and my brother are sons of a chief. So...
Yeah, what kind of a big deal?
From here. From the Wind Plains.
Yeah, no.
Iron Valley.
They won't care.
I mean, Iron Valley adjacent, we're not...
They won't care. Not enough to really, really, really listen to you.
What were you going to say, Megan? Because you look like you had a realization.
Maybe we shouldn't tell or give these away because they technically are stolen property, and
That's true.
having to explain ourselves on how we
Rhiannon knows
received
what's
them.
going on.
I would
Yeah,
say
that's why we give them to Rhiannon, and we don't have to do any explanation with Rhiannon.
Well, I
Well,
don't
wait,
think that they
wait,
should be in
wait,
her possession.
on,
I think
hold on.
we should hold on to them in the bag of holding, so if someone's looking for them, they find them in an empty extra-dimensional space and not on a person, because Rhiannon is probably having her room searched. So
But yeah,
her
they
having the
use
letters
these.
would not be good.
Yeah, but and that's fine. But I have a question.
You have the floor.
Yeah,
Let me keep
I
her.
forget my question.
I had a question.
Oh my
I
god.
lost it.
Does it have
Give
to
me a
do
minute
with,
when I
like,
search.
does it have to do with talking to Rhiannon? Does it have to do with, like...
Oh no! I know it's it. I got. Why don't we just give it to somebody who works with the spy master?
Slow turn to Felix.
But yeah, we could give them to Felix, but there might be a change in power. That is my biggest thing, is loyalties might shift.
You know specifically, though, Rhiannon told you the spy master was actively being tortured right now or was under house arrest for information.
Let's just keep him.
Wait, Rhiannon told us that?
Yeah, because she heard that from the nobles. She asked what was happening to Elaine's household, and they said they were interrogating members of her household, especially the spy master.
Let's just keep these letters. Let's just keep everyone
Yeah, we'll
safe.
just leave them in this bag.
We'll just put them in the bag of holding. We'll put them in a jar inside the bag of holding. So
I know.
A lead line box.
Let's get Heward's handy sack, whatever the fuck it's called, and we'll put the bag of holding with the letters inside that. Nothing will go wrong.
Oh yeah, no,
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
In
idea.
reality.
Not only
Going
will
to
I be in the
astral
astral plane in one campaign, I'll be in the astral plane in 2 campaigns.
I don't
Okay,
feel like
five-
doing that.
5
I
is
haven't
not a
done
guarantee.
one.
5 is not a guarantee unless Lizzie rules it that way.
Take a
Before
Or we just, explode. Campaign over, we're all dead.
one more thing, Felix will pull out the knife that he found.
Oh Jesus!
Ooh,
Kill
identify.
us all.
Identify.
Don't.
Do you have identify?
I do have
I do.
identify. It's a ritual
Okay.
spell.
Sorry. Felix is.
I've had identify since the beginning of the campaign.
Felix is doing some exhibition.
Whoa!
Exposition.
Exposition. Exposition. I was close. Sorry.
Right.
So this
don't,
knife.
don't touch it unless you have to. It kind of looks like smoke now, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It could possibly be that thing that was used to summon the smoke demons, or
Ooh.
something that was gifted to Rhys. Maybe to collect souls, I'm not sure.
Well,
Just be careful. And
Oh, so like you kill someone with this, it traps the soul and makes you a smoke monster?
maybe.
let's find
I'm
out.
not sure how it works. He will put the dagger and the handkerchief on a table or the floor, wherever they are. You will all know that he's been very carefully not touching the thing.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm Una, all up in this. Identifying. I'm so excited. I can use the spell finally.
All right. You're doing identify on it. Let me look up identify. I know
Takes
Josh
10
has
minutes.
it too. Yep, I know.
It
I'm trying
takes
to read
10
10
this.
minutes.
She
and
has to
6
maintain contact with the object
Yeah.
for the full duration of the spell.
Got it. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Maintain contact.
Hold it.
Maintain contact.
It'll be fine.
I'm looking at it. Una loves daggers. They're her second favorite weapon.
Just because I don't want to necessarily give anything away. Randomly, everyone roll me a d20.
Ooh, this is dangerous.
13.
Oh, right in the middle out of 10.
14.
Oh shit.
15.
4.
Oh.
13.
What's everybody's wisdom bonus?
Oh,
Plus 3.
Plus
2.
3.
Plus 35.
We're getting scried upon, you
Is it
guys. I
Wisdom
don't like-
save or just wisdom
Just
score?
wisdom.
Your modifier.
Just your modifier.
0.
3,
Zero.
0, you're 2, Una.
2.
0, 0. Okay.
If it has to do with the save, honey, just
Nope, no
FYI,
save.
it's a +1 because of my luck stone
Okay, not a save. All right.
or an ability check.
I'm so curious.
Aaron, specifically, you're looking at this dagger, and as the more you're studying it and the weird pattern on it, you get a very distinct memory of this coming out of like a woman's
Your body.
chest.
Oh,
Like this type of material. It was way bigger though, more like a spear or like
Is it
a
the
lance.
dark crystal? Like from my
Yep.
fuck.
Una, you do your investigation on it.
I'm excited.
You guys do your identify on it. It is an attunable magical dagger made out of a very strange crystal that seems to withhold energy and has some sort of like unknown essence and properties about it that you can't quite determine what they are. It's like a weird mixture of magic. And specifically, you know that if you do kill something with it, it feeds the life energy of it to a corresponding crystal like this.
uh-huh.
So
Huh.
it like
Takes the
transfers
souls,
that.
makes a shadow.
It's a
So the person you
soul
got killed could have actually been pretty recently.
Yeah,
It's entirely possible that
yeah, the
Rhys-
smoke monster that killed Westwood.
It could have been. It could have
Could've-
been his guard.
Oh, could have been the knight.
Could have been
Yeah.
the night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
or his soul is.
But
feeding him.
Lizzie's just
Right.
like, I don't know.
but the knight was struck ill.
Yeah, but it
Not
could be.
Sucked his
Yeah.
soul out of.
No, he said he looked gaunt.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
would probably be.
Struck by
Like-
sudden illness the morning after. Found dead, pale and gaunt, as if struck by illness.
As if.
But
As if.
Not like,
as if.
not like guaranteed.
But like the letter would have said he was stabbed or something, like murdered, right? Not
Mhm.
just suddenly dead.
Yeah, they
Maybe they
described
didn't
it like a
investigate.
chill.
Maybe they didn't.
So maybe the
investigate it at all.
dagger doesn't leave a mark?
I mean, Because you said the blade itself is kind of shadowy, right? Like it doesn't seem like it's solid.
No, it's solid. It's like a crystal, blade that has been polished smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But inside of it, there's rippling smoke effect. And also, I was gonna say something really funny, and I don't remember what it was.
Rippling.
No, it was something to do with your guys' like theories. It was a joke, but it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Sorry,
look at all
probably
the
was taken
conspiring.
away.
I never remember who I've told what. I'm pretty sure I've told all of you about my vision from. Was that not the Silkies?
Nope, that was when you fought the smoke
Harpies.
monster. Nope.
Oh
yeah, no. When you fought
monster?
the smoke monsters,
That's right.
is when you had it had some sort of mind altering effect, and you saw in the shade. It caused you to see a memory of a woman getting pierced with a
from the back
right,
out
yeah.
the front.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then some dude yelling a name.
Mm-hmm.
Railta.
Yeah, I think-
Steven- Oh, yeah, Railta.
But so
Felix does not know this.
No.
we can't fully identify it. We just know that the dagger itself somehow feeds power by capturing
Feeds the soul
Sucking
or the energy
a soul and
to a corresponding
larger.
crystal. Yeah.
So could we use this to track it to its source?
If we had a wizard,
I can't.
I mean, if they communicate, could we find a way to find that communication, that tether? I mean, we might obviously have to get some external help, but maybe.
You said that the dagger was attunable.
No.
Great idea.
I'll try.
No.
I mean, that's not a good idea. I
Don't.
agree with Rowan's sarcasm.
Who did the identify things on it?
That would
Both?
be El Megan Una.
Okay, you didn't, Josh. Okay, Megan, specifically, you know that
One
this thing.
person does identify.
You know this thing has a sentient energy to it too, though.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's cursed.
Don't mess with that.
Not
Or
cursed.
there's a
Mess
soul
with-
in
I
it.
mean, whether
Oh.
Una still tries it, she would have known when she
Yeah.
did it. There is some sort of sentient energy to it.
But that might help bring it back to its source.
No.
But
Don't.
Thinking positively about every bad thing.
It's a character flaw.
What?
If he tries to do anything,
Always
Until it
the
comes to
wrong
A Lady
side.
Elaine, then everything's
Side.
negative. There's no saving grace.
okay. Look, is she
We're
going to,
rebuilding that relationship slowly.
is she going to try to attune to it?
Not at this time.
It would take
An
the
hour.
duration
Yeah.
of a short rest to
Yeah.
attune.
Mm.
So it's not like she can just be like, ah! Oh, right.
Oh.
So
No, I mean,
Point.
I'm wanting
giving the
to,
information. Yeah. Oh yeah.
but I don't think she would do it at this very moment.
I have a question, Megan.
Okay.
Mhm.
This is above table. Andrew asking
Player
Megan,
to player.
player to player. Why would Una want to do
So
this? I get why you want to do it. I get that. Why would Una want to do this?
I mean, the sentient thing is pushing Una off. I mean, if it was a Megan thing, I'd just be doing it. It is the
Doesn't
fact
give me a whole lot
that
of faith.
right. It's the fact that Rowan's been haunted with these images. That woman was a bigger object of this. Rowan made the connection that it's made of the same material. Perhaps this is that piece that that woman stabbed on and would help find that puzzle for Rowan.
Mm.
That's
I mean,
where Una's
the-
path is.
That makes sense, but
The woman
Whether or not
was
it's
stabbed with a
true,
much
And the
larger
fact that there's
shard.
something in there
I think
makes her nervous.
I think the puzzle piece that you're looking for is just the essence of the dagger itself, like what it does, what it possesses, stuff like that. Like that is the puzzle piece that we're looking for, not
Yeah.
necessarily the dagger.
Yeah. The fact that it's trapping souls and
Yeah.
is connected to another larger piece just makes me want to find a way to find that bigger piece.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that it's the dagger that she wants. She wants the end goal of finding that bigger crystal. That's where Una's going with it, or thinking about it. It's not the fact that she wants a dagger because it's a magical dagger. Megan wants a dagger because it's a magical dagger and currently has no magical weapons.
But
But
what would lead Una to believe that attuning to it would allow her to do that?
I don't think that
I think
she
she wants to
necessarily
try.
thinks that right now. I think that, especially knowing that there's something else with it, like she senses that there's a presence, which makes her hesitant. I don't think that she thinks that attuning it could possibly create the tether, or like create so she can see the line, like see where the path goes.
Okay.
That would be benefit of attuning. The thing that is preventing her from doing so at this very moment is the fact that there's probably something else in the dagger. And she's probably heard of things like this before. Maybe being sort of familiar with magic. That is kind of preventing her from being like, we're doing this right now to find the path. It's more of a, we'll see if there's another way first, and then maybe look at this option. I don't think that it's I don't think Una's gonna just do it right now. I think she would have to think upon it and see if there's a way to track that magic line. Because in her mind, this is a piece of Rowan. Like, this is a piece for Rowan, a way to help Rowan since he helped her, I guess.
Yeah.
So
So back.
she looking
Oh, sorry.
considering of it? Like, she might.
I mean, she's spending 10 minutes staring at it. So
But
I
then
guess
afterwards, she's like still holding it and like,
She's not. We don't hear
it's
something
like
like "my precious" or
processing.
something.
no. I mean, if anything, it's just the processing of the information, knowing that she's been holding it for this long anyways. She might not even realize that she's still holding it. It's just she's processing what this means and where it can go. Like the whole thought process of, okay, this is what this is. I feel a little something extra that concerns me. So I don't think she's contemplating on attuning to it, especially right now in front of everybody. And I don't think she has that gleam in her eye of, I'm going to go and do this secretly in my room. I think it's more of she's putting the pieces together, if that makes sense, in her mind.
Like
And
if I did this, would it help? Kind of
yeah,
thing.
like you're basically seeing gears slowly click into place of her thought process. That's kind of the look, I guess you could see on her face. Not that I'm holding this, it's mine, I'm going to keep it forever. That would be Megan Hobonus.
Sal, this dagger is clearly evil. We should probably keep it hidden somewhere.
We can put it in the bag of holding with the letters in the jar. Well, maybe not in the jar, but in the bag holding.
Oh no.
I mean, do we want this dagger to smell like pickles? I mean, we can put it in there. That's fine by me.
Well, I think
yeah,
we
we
should
can
just
let
put
it
it in the
smell
bag
like
of holding.
pickles. It's
Well, we
not
would
like
just
anyone's gonna use it. We
put it
don't
in the
want
bag.
anyone to use it.
The letters already smell like pickles, so we should just put the dagger in the bag and address it later. And maybe we can see someone of higher magical capabilities to
I
kind
mean,
of.
Lavinia has pretty high magical capabilities, and she's already been our magical advisor on like the aboleth and the smoke monsters. And if we're like, hey, we think this is being used to make the smoke monsters, what do you think? You know, she might be like, well, that's not good news.
With
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I should put it.
with the
We should probably
information of,
start with, what do you want now?
with the information of what the dagger does.
I don't
Rowan's
think I would
been-
tell you guys that it has sentient being in it. I
Right,
would not
right.
tell you that, just so you guys
Rowan's-
are aware.
Rowan's still been very
What?
detached, listening, thinking, all that stuff. But when you talk about what the dagger does, Rowan will sort of sit up and look at you and do you remember the vision that I had of the woman being run through with the crystal?
Are you talking to Una or Nora or
Kind
who?
of the group. He's looking at you
Okay.
because you told the information.
Yeah.
The crystal that I saw in the vision looks very similar to this dagger, with the swirling underneath the surface. I don't know exactly what that means, but there may be some connection.
Oh no.
Maybe the larger crystal that's attached to this is the one that ran that woman through.
Or what if it's at Queen's Rest?
At what now?
You know, the town. Queen's Rest, where we cleanse
Yeah.
the well? Or what about the swamp north of the Eris estate?
I think any answers of where the end point of this dagger may be could be answered in Mirefield. I think regardless of what we want to do, I think we need to go to Mirefield.
Oh, just putting it out there. You don't think that we should ask Lavinia?
Maybe not quite yet.
I don't know if she'd be able to help us necessarily.
I think right now it's better if we keep things a little bit closer inside of our group, at least until we are a little bit more sure what's going on and who we can trust with all of this. Rowan,
Well,
did
Felix,
you-
in that case, I'm gonna need you to sign some paperwork.
Rowan, did you mention Raelta to Rhiannon at all?
I don't think so.
Lizzie, did he?
Can't think of any circumstance when you would have.
Yeah, I
unless
don't think
you-
I told her
Well,
about that vision.
wait a minute. Well, no, because the black smoke monster thing. Did you told her about the dream of witnessing something with and she was like right when she was telling me about Westwood got murdered by like a shadow creature. So like you might have told her, but like that you fought shadow creatures before and you had a dream and you've had these other dreams, but I don't know if you specifically mentioned Raelta to her at all. And if you did, it wouldn't mean anything to her. Like, I'll just give you that for free.
You might want to inform her.
That's not a bad idea. Should I wait until we're on the road? Maybe?
Perhaps.
Where are we
the biggest-
going?
I mean, brother can inform Rhiannon.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
I'm gonna see this in like
You're
I think-
basically her
20 minutes,
messenger.
Yeah.
You're like the go-between, an
think-
owl.
At this point, too, it would be like what we're kind of understanding now is what you were seeing is maybe not necessarily things from the past. Always, it could be from the present because you saw what happened to Westwood. So maybe it would be worth looking into somebody named Raelta. You know, it could have been something not as far back as we thought it was.
wait a minute. RD?
Raelta did.
I mean,
Failed to discern us.
Mama told me that Raelta was Sylvan for star.
Yes. Side note, I fucking hate myself for naming so many goddamn characters
R.
with R names.
yeah, you
Good.
have a
Oh.
letter thing.
And I've been chastised for
For
literal
ages.
years about Havios and Hebor. Like, that's it. I did it twice.
Then there's
Who's
Lizzie,
the-
all the R's.
Who's the
Uh,
wizard?
Rhiannon,
They were both
Raelta.
gods of the sea. Mine were at least
Ringer.
nobility in the
Right.
past, so it makes sense,
Right.
you know, because noble nonsense and similar
Right.
names.
I
Josh,
bet
who was
Lady Seamus' first name starts with an R.
No, it starts with an S.
It does
Saoirse.
now anyway.
No, it's Saoirse. So anyway, you talked about going on the road, and Hans and Franz said, "When are we going on the road?"
I thought we had talked about going to Meyerfield for the festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
That's
much
for a
was-
couple more days.
I can't remember how much of this was Felix involved with.
We'll just say he was involved with some
All
of it.
Well, he
Yeah.
he knows that we're going to go there because we asked him if he possibly wanted to go with us to
Yeah, I think so.
investigate and break into the castle.
But yeah, going to Meyerfield.
That's in 2 days?
It's the morning, I think, of the 8th right now. Let me think, because Westwood is more
Oh, then it's like a
the
week.
6th. Yeah, it's the 16th. But the festival, the first day of the festival starts on the 16th.
Oh,
There's a fighting pit here in town, though, prior
It's the same
to...
time.
Yeah.
it's the
It
same
was on
time.
the 14th.
Yep.
5 days to kill, 4 days to kill,
Well,
6 days to kill.
Yeah, so Felix knows that they were potentially talking about going to Meyerfield.
so,
Not potentially. It's happening.
So wait, how exactly were you going to get in?
Rhiannon?
Yeah, we were going to escort her.
We're her personal bodyguard crew.
Servants,
thing.
attendants, whatever.
Do we have to get matching uniforms? Is that a thing?
We hadn't gotten that far.
Well, just like
I think that's more up to Rhiannon.
he just stares at you all.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think we decided any of that fully.
Right. Servants?
Not servants, protectors,
Attendants,
At
bodyguards.
maybe 1 or 2, maybe. And you won't necessarily be able to. You'd be expected to be near her, or
Yeah.
all of you.
I think some of us would be able to be more stealthy and able to get in other ways, while those who are not so would be able to be bodyguards. And Hans and Franz, aka Feathers, that you call him.
Wait, why am I feathers? I don't
You're
You're
not
not
feathers, you're
feathers.
sticky.
You're honey, right?
because I'm
honey and
so
feathers?
sweet.
But Feathers is technically her tutor, so he would be able to get in as a cultural
Ambassador.
ambassador,
Oh,
and
He
that
has diplomatic immunity.
and that would put Honey and Rowan as bodyguards, where like Nora and I could try to go in via other ways, like a
and-
spider on Rowan's shoulder, or
Or
hiding in the
ladies'
shadows.
maids.
ladies' mates.
Ladies in waiting.
You would what?
Is it
Okay.
ladies in waiting?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's okay. Look, you're very good fighters, and really good at fighting things, and you're good friends. Yes. I'm not sure you'd be able to pass very well as servants.
Well, we
Not
were gonna get
as-
proper training from her current lady in waiting.
right. That should help. Right.
I mean, I can summon one that's not seen. That'll help.
You can
wait, what?
Unseen servant.
I used it for you, honey. That sounds so wrong. In so many ways.
No, I love it. I love it.
I used the unseen servant in the forge for you, and it carried water from one spot to the other.
Oh, yeah, that was very nice. Thank you.
I'm not calling you honey anymore. That's weird. Like
That's
Sticky
okay. It's not
better.
your nickname.
That's
No,
true.
don't call me that, please.
Felix looks like he's overloading with possible information and like possible things he can say and possible outcomes that he wants to say and isn't quite sure. Like he's processing.
What?
You know what we need? We need some lunch. That's what we need.
I mean, it's probably more like dinner at this point.
No,
it's
it's
like
noon.
lunch. You guys
Oh.
got back at like 10 a.m. So
Have you put the knife back into the bag of holding?
Yeah, I would have put the knife in the bag of holding.
That she's just been.
Yeah, I've just been holding it.
my precious.
I'm attuned. Magically
Just-
without
just-
wanting.
With or without
You
the
know,
handkerchief?
just like.
Repeat that, Felix.
With or without the handkerchief?
Without. I would have just
Yep.
grabbed it. It's already in her hand. She hasn't been holding it via the handkerchief.
Takes and folds it. Puts it back in the pocket.
Now I'm curious. What's
Oh, was
so
it your
special about the
handkerchief? Was it your handkerchief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I
Megan,
roll?
roll a fortitude. No, I'm kidding.
Fortitude.
What was
Roll
on-
confidence.
What was
Oh,
on
that
the
would not be
handkerchief?
good. Not be good
What
at
was
all.
what was on the handkerchief?
With my passive of 15, did I see anything special about the handkerchief? Otherwise, active would be 10.
Do you want to describe what was on the handkerchief, Lauren?
It was embroidered with flowers.
Oh.
You know.
Fancy.
Nice
Okay.
flowers.
I don't think that Una would put two and two together. I don't think that she would think anything of it. She just gave her
It's a
handkerchief.
nice handkerchief. That's all.
Mhm.
How's
His
popcorn,
weird
buddy?
family crest, man, is a bunch of flowers.
Oh, yes.
That's what
all
she
the
thinks.
flowers.
That's it. Just
Uh,
flowers.
Aaron's like, I will figure out what your house is.
I need to know who you are.
We sell flowers. On a
Is there any other symbols on it or no, Lauren? Because I know he knows how to embroider. Is this one that has it or not?
I mean, I think it was one of his. It makes the most sense, I'm guessing.
Unless it
Is
was
it-
given to
wait.
him as a favor. It could be
Was it-
one that was
Okay.
given to you.
Is
but
it a gift one? Because I could see the flowers one being just a gift. Or is it one he did himself?
It's probably one that he did himself because
Okay, then yeah.
he doesn't want to give anything away while
Okay.
being undercover. So
And so, and of course, so if that's the case, it probably would not have his little stitch thing on it then, or whatever.
Mhm. No, it would
So,
not.
sorry guys. Like,
What was that?
Damn it.
Are you saying we should have kept it so we could locate him later?
No.
Is that what-
No.
Well, we know what it looks like. We can locate that object if we ever lose him. See? Well, I think that you two men could easily pass, and I think that Nora and I could also easily pass in some sort of
Which
role.
two men? Are you talking about me and Rowan?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there are 3 men in here.
To me,
Yeah, but
you
we
just
already
pointed at Sam.
established cultural ambassador was your brother, so you would be
Yeah,
the
I'm just-
other
okay.
two.
Who remaining?
Well,
Okay, I'm
okay,
just
so
making
what-
sure.
So you two, you guys want to pass as servants?
Well,
No,
would
we were gonna be
Oh,
guards.
no.
Yeah,
Yes.
guards.
Those
Yeah,
two
yeah,
would be
yeah.
guards. We would be handmaidens, which we were possibly going to get trained in by her current attendant.
Wait. In order to be a guard, you have to be like a squire or a knight or something?
Not
Hmm?
necessarily.
You'd have to ask
No.
Rhiannon.
You'd hire guards sometimes.
Oh, okay.
My question is, why would you guys be handmaidens? Why not guards as well? And 2, it'd be really weird if she didn't bring her handmaiden who's always with her everywhere, and instead had you two.
You can disguise yourself. You could disguise yourself as her.
But
And
that's
why
an even
wouldn't
worse
she come
idea.
too?
I think
Why wouldn't she
that,
go with?
Yeah.
but as Felix said, that's a lot of people for guards for one person. Felix said it
He's
would
a
be
There's been
political
murders.
lord.
suspicious.
There's been murders.
That's true.
Yeah. You don't know how dangerous the road can be.
I do think the other thing too to think about is that it might be more strategically advantaged, like we might be advantaged by having people spread out into different roles because people talk. If we were in some sort of servitude or, being a lady in waiting of some sort to Rhiannon, we had potential to maybe talk to other ladies in waiting and speak to them about what could be going on in their own households and potentially maybe even the ones that are in Rhys's household. And they won't talk to guards, probably.
But won't that maybe give up the gig if you're in there talking?
Necessarily, I'm sure that we could just talk to them, and a lot of times people just like to gossip. It happened all the time at our village.
You should go to the novice sometime. It happens all the time there.
No, I get that, but you guys aren't going to, with a couple days of training, coming off as real ladies in waiting,
I
to
think
like
that
pass yourselves off to other ladies in waiting.
I think that you need to talk to Rhiannon about this.
Yeah, I agree with Felix. Sounds like a great idea.
Kind of on that note, you guys, what's your next plans of action?
I'll probably wait until after Hans and Franz hangs out with Rhiannon and, you know, lets her know what had happened in the heist. And, you know, yeah.
I have a request.
Yes.
Sorry. A lot has been thrown at me to talk with Rhiannon about.
Power of Blah a lot.
You'd
Well,
like a
wait
recap.
until his request is actually said
sorry.
there, honey.
Well, I was gonna say, can we wait until next session to do that? And then whoever has something that they want me to talk to Rhiannon about, just message to the group.
Oh, sure.
And then we're not, then we're not powered blind and missing stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Basically,
I think
create a list.
either way, because Hans and Franz, we kind of talked about this at the end of last session, or the 2 sessions ago when Rhiannon gave you the slippers. She said she wanted to. We probably would have to sneak out and try to do another camping trip, so she could at least where you could all plan together as a group. And also, like, get everyone's role straight as well. So you do know that, like, there will be a chance, like, you could try to plan a camping trip thing, either this coming night when you go visit her, or some other time in the next couple days, too. So it's up to, so if you're worried about things getting missed where you have to convey all that information, you could plan it where it's, like, the next time you guys meet, it's with there's a little bit of time skipping stuff and you guys have a night out to plan it all together for expedience sake. And we could do that next session. That's up to you.
I mean, I think we should still put it down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Hans and Franz doesn't really have anything other than just to tell her, you know, what he
I love you
knows.
and stuff.
Whoa.
They've been dating, like, they've not even gone on one date.
What do you mean love? Holy smokes, man. I'm
Sometimes you
interested
know.
in you and stuff.
First date, man. Happens.
So my thought is we put together what we want to talk to Rhiannon about. If you want to do it tonight, I can just go meet with her, powered blah, tell her everything, and then we can set up when we're going to have, like, our camping trip or whatever. And then we can do that next session. That's up to
I
you.
didn't know we were doing a camping trip.
Well,
that was how.
it was something that she said to Hans and Franz right before he came to meet you guys for the heist that night was, if we are going to go to Meyerfield undercover, we need to go as, I need to work with you guys on what your covers are going to be to make this convincingly. So we'll say, if there's anything else you guys want to do before he goes and has his dinner date, or to have him bring up immediately, say so now or forever hold your tongue.
Rowan's just gonna, consider all of his past life events and figure out what's all connected.
What was current event and what was past event?
Nora's going to turn into therapist and just start, like, jotting down, like,
And how does that make you feel?
and how does that make you feel? How are these tied together? Let's piece everything together.
Tell me about your parents.
Tell me about our parent.
Felix is actually going to pull Feathers off to the one side and very quietly
Your
say,
feathers.
Yeah, your feathers, Andrew.
Why am I feathers?
That's your
Oh,
nickname.
Your mantle.
You've been gone every single time she's given you guys nicknames as a player from this table, so your feathers.
I have?
Yep,
It's
every single
Felix's
time.
way of telling you two apart.
Your feathers, I'm honey.
You need to tell Rhiannon about Rhys's marriage proposal that he sent through her father. You need to tell her. You should probably even bring the letter with you so that she can see it for herself. It will
Okay.
probably change how she acts and what she wants to do.
Okay.
He looks relieved.
I wasn't gonna. I think that was gonna be part of the power of law, I guess. But
Yeah.
if Felix thinks I should bring the letter,
Oh,
I
he
will
just
bring the
wanted
letter.
to make sure that it got talked about because it's important to him. That's all.
All right. So, any final things you guys were doing before we cut to this little power word blah thing?
No, I don't think so.
So, Hans and Franz, you make your way over for language lessons. You see her. Sophia is there for the beginning part and then kind of goes off to like give you guys privacy, like to talk. Because she's just like, I'm gonna be gone for the night. I'll be back later. Or actually, no, she'll be like, I'm gonna go hang out in my adjoining room and let you guys talk alone. You power word blah things. She has a very mixed reaction about Rhys's letter to her father, where it's kind of like relieved that he didn't automatically say yes, but also there's a lot of frustration on her face about that.
Because it wasn't a definitive no.
Yeah. And she says, he hasn't written to me once since I've been here.
What? How long you? Because she's told us how long she's been there, right?
Yeah, it's been like 3 years.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's just really no excuse for that. I was gonna try to make some platitude of like, maybe he's busy, but in 3 years, that's a long time. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's one other thing to add to his Father of the Year award, which probably doesn't exist. But there's so much to process. But it sounds like we might be going into an unintentional den of vipers with this, and not just from Rhys.
Yeah, it sounds like.
If Westwood was overwilling to even look the blood stuff, whatever that means, his heritage, to get him into a seat of power with his niece, then that means that other lords might as well.
Well, you don't think it means? I mean, because wait, Lady Elaine's human, right?
She's half elf.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what he meant by the blood thing, is that there's fey blood in the family. I don't know.
Right. So with that in mind, it might not be a definite no from his supporters, at least, because they just might want him in charge instead of Elaine by how he'll run things or what he's promised them. There's a lot of legislation that Elaine has tried to add in that many lords were not fans of.
Yeah, he might be a bit more of a pushover.
The one thing that concerns me is going to the festival. I've been thinking about it a lot more, and it's alarming to me. I've gathered some news of the different lords going, and it seems like many of them are still planning to attend, even though everything with Elaine is happening, which it would be the perfect place for them to talk about deposing her, being away from court.
So should we not go?
No, I think we need to go and find evidence, but I'm scared going as we are. If you attend the festival with me, I don't really have my own household, and I don't really have any power other than what Elaine gives me as an award, and most of the nobles will know that she is under arrest right now. And if you go as my servants, you would essentially have to be servants borrowed from the school, which would have no authority and no protection. And I'm scared of throwing you in this situation.
So, one question. If we go there and do what we did at his manor and Felix it up in there, we'll say.
She smiles at that.
somebody made the comment earlier, Una did, that this information doesn't really do us any good because it's, stolen property. So if we go to Rhys's estate and, somebody breaks in somewhere and finds something, what good does that do us then?
We'd have to have somebody there that would back us in case there's some argument about it. I do know that some of the Lord's members of the council are going there, but we need somebody there for sure that would at least take our side, and we would have to confide all of this in.
What about Lord
Desternus?
Yeah.
She looks and she's like, that was actually who I was going to mention, although this is a bit complicated. I would trust him to back us. However, one, he's going to have to learn about how I met you, why I trust all of you, and also hear all this evidence. And I think he would at least believe me, but I can't say what the repercussions of admitting that I've been sneaking out of the school and all of this and letting people thieve into houses for me is going to entail. But we'll worry about that once Elaine is free. But if we get Desternus there, at least if there's an attempt of a coup, it might be squelched a bit by having the commander of Elaine's army there.
Yeah.
He has a force of presence about him. That would mean, though, that the cover you would have to be his servants. So we have to get him to buy in on that as well.
Okay.
But Lord Desternus might be our only ally going into this, and I don't know if we'll be able to convince him as such.
What about Evelyn?
Evelyn...
I keep wanting to call him Evelyn.
Evelyn maybe, but I don't know. Evelyn's been very neutral and supportive of Elaine, but I don't know if he outwardly I don't know if he hates Rhys. Desternus hates Rhys, and if Rhys has been working with Ringian, then I know for a fact that he will want to be involved.
So that's a good thing?
Yes. It's going to be complicated, and we'll need to talk about this with everybody as a group and decide if we come forward to this with Lord Desternus, if all of us are there, or if I talk to him alone. I have a feeling all of you and see who is essentially entrusting the future of this kingdom to.
Does Lady Elaine have any, nobles that are secretly in her court that, publicly kind of oppose her?
Oh, you mean, double agents?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. You probably hate hearing me say this. It's complicated. I know a lot of her secrets, but I don't know everything because I am still the daughter of a foreign forces country.
So she's under house arrest. Would you be able to visit her? I mean, maybe she would. I mean, if we're working to free her, whatever, exonerate her, maybe she'd be willing to give us a little tidbit of information that we can use or something.
I could try to meet with her and see if I can contact her. I'll need to go to... Oh, that's actually an interesting question. I need to figure out if I can even get to Lord Desternus. I'll have to think about that. Did you give her a spare sending scroll?
Yes, I believe we did.
Yeah.
I
doubt. Yeah.
No. We bought her
purchased
2
them.
scrolls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He lives in the keep, so I'm curious to see if he's under house arrest as well. I can have a hard time imagining that.
Yeah. So do we want to have a group outing tomorrow evening?
I mean, I would prefer sooner the better. We could do tonight if I could try to sneak out.
Okay.
Provided I have my shoes back.
Oh, I would have given to her.
Oh.
Yeah, immediately.
Prestidigitation. Get the man funk off.
Sorry,
No,
they're
kidding.
stinky.
So I'm sweating like a sinner in church wearing these.
Hans and Franz was cool throughout that whole... His brother came back and had a heart attack. He was just like, we didn't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tonight, I'm not going to, well, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm not going to say no to spending more time with you.
We'll be around other people, though.
Doesn't change spending time. I mean, it's not exactly like we're lounging about, telling stories from our childhood, but sometimes you take what time you can get.
She kind of smiles and nods a bit, and she'll work on setting up the details of like where to meet and like say, can you have Una come get me, and please make sure Felix is there as well. He'll need to be in this discussion too.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Sounds like a plan.
Have Una meet me outside the city walls in the Fey district, though, so that way we can avoid the guards. But I'll just need somebody to help me find my way to the campsite, since I don't know how to find my way in the dark.
Do you have any place in particular you wanted to meet you?
Let's meet outside the bar we went to after the play, which I think it was called like the something petal something. I don't remember. It was like some flower name. It wasn't that long ago in game, so.
Oh, I thought you were saying that as Rhiannon. Like,
No.
This is fucking bar that we went to.
Fucking bar. I need to give her more of like a refined speech so you can actually tell when I switch between them.
No, I think you should.
The Lily Petal Tavern.
Thank you. What were you
I
saying?
think you should go reverse. And yeah, so like we should totally get together and get some beers, maybe some hot dogs.
No, just go full Boston with Rhiannon.
Go full
Yeah, down by the
Iron
loudest
Valley's in
thing.
Boston. No,
At
I
the
go
car
Southern
park.
Belle.
We went to the loudest pedal tavern.
But yeah, she'll plan to go camping with you guys. She'll say, I'm not gonna bring Sophia just in case she needs to be me during the night for some reason. But she'll definitely, that will be part of the discussion, is our cover, and then also how I'm going to approach Lord Desternus with all this, and I admit I know you, and then she sighs back and thinks like, oh, if this all works out well, I still can't guarantee that I'm not going to be under school arrest forever. And
Wow.
I have been lying to Elaine and sneaking out of the school for the past 3 years, but
I have a sneaking suspicion that Elaine knows more than she lets on.
maybe she just doesn't care. And then she stops and thinks for a minute, and she's like, you said there was hellhounds and imps in Rhys's study?
Mm-hmm.
No. And then she kind of like just lets the thought pass.
Now what?
It's just imps are very rare, and the only other time, well, not that I am experienced with interacting with fiends, was when we met.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself, and then I forgot because 2 weeks passed.
What are you talking about? It's only been a day.
Oh, sorry. I step out of my body sometimes. Yeah, I was totally thinking about that. But especially since Hans and Franz would have like an understanding of like what a fiend and a fae are from his paladin abilities. Yeah, so maybe that Hollis was failed summoning. Maybe not failed.
It was trying to abduct me off the road, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't sound like a failure.
That's what I'm saying, not a failure.
Mm-hmm. No, she's like, there's so many questions, but I guess we'll have to talk about them tonight.
Yeah. Also, do you have a bag of holding yourself?
Yes, why?
You might want to put that letter in there. No, Una made the comment that if somebody tries to scry on them or something, because I don't think we got away cleanly from the manor.
Do you think you were seeing it all? Though I suppose if you were attacked by hellhounds, there was at least some intrusion, but you weren't seen, were you?
No, I don't think so. The guy was asking for dairy, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Or the D.
Yeah.
He kept asking for the D.
Struggle
yeah,
I know
don't-
too well.
I don't think they'd be SARS, but I think they know somebody might have been. I mean, there was alert with the guy, and so if you went and checked in Rhys's room or paid attention to where the family portraits were hanging.
Why? What does the family portraits have to do with it? Did the Hellhounds destroy those?
No,
Well, why did you mention it then? She looks confused.
I may have
was-
taken it.
Taking
It was-
what?
Rhys's portrait.
It was in this
'Cause-
moment that Hans and Franz realized that he might have made a big mistake.
No. Because he's an asshole, and this picture was painting a brighter picture of him that needs to be painted. And I understand that he's got money and he'll just get another one painted. But they already knew we were there anyway, because we killed some imps and some hellhounds.
They might have just assumed you were thieves. Now they're gonna know that it was somebody who doesn't like him.
Not necessarily, because we did steal a bunch of stuff too.
What did you steal? And she's just like trying not to look impressed. Like, what did you steal?
I got the pretty nice sword. Speaking of, I'm gonna have Megan check that. I forgot to ask her about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have Una check it. Makes
All
it
right.
magical. Probably not. Probably just decorative.
Mhm.
Or your brother.
Identified who? Since session 1!
But yeah, I remember you getting the pearl, so I would ask my brother.
Don't be stepping on my toes, Megan. I let you get away with it this once.
So she listens to what you stole and looks a little too looks happy, like a little impressed. You guys plan about like what to do for your meetup later. And she specifically says that I do need to work with you and figure out how to pass you off as a cultural ambassador, because I don't want to set you up for failure interacting with nobles.
Okay. All right.
Also, fair warning, one rule that I'm going to warn you about now, and probably your brother, because I notice this is actually something that led to my mixed signals from you originally. You can't go around just touching women casually.
What do you mean?
You can't touch women's hands. You can't give them a hug. You can't pick them up when they give you milk when you drink hot peppers when you're not supposed to. And you end up getting a little overheated at festivals.
I don't get it. No.
I don't mind, but you can't do that to me when we're in public. And also, you probably don't want to do it to any of the women servants either, just in case. Well, yeah, no, do it to the women servants just in case. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I did it to you because I knew you and we were familiar. I wouldn't do it with just anybody. Like, while the Bendaya are very open with each other, if we don't know somebody, we're not going to do that.
I mean, you did pick me up for the milk, like after meeting me twice before, so that's pretty quick.
That's familiar. Well, the Bendaya are a little more loose on what means familiar.
Yes.
I will have never met these people before, so one visit isn't enough to be familiar. I can't guarantee if I meet them a couple more times that I won't, though.
Try to remember that though, because you might be insinuating you have an actual like intimate relationship with the person, or you're actually family.
Okay.
Just a warning. You and your brother are both judgy.
As my brother and I find the saying, it's noble nonsense, but
Mm-hmm. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if Rhys tries to separate us as much as possible at the festival, just because he doesn't like you, probably. Sounds like they're gonna need some backup. Will they be able to convince this lord to help them? Find out next time on the Guardians of Fehal.